Hi, welcome to Pretty Truth. The truth isn't always pretty, but it's always the truth. I wanted to talk a little bit today about the news. No news is good news. That's a double entendre. um, Obviously, not watching the news is good news because the news is always filled with bad news. And I don't know if you believe in energy or not, or anything spiritual like that, but I do. And I think that, well, I think everything is energy anyway, but I think that all of that bombardment of negativity, it really wears our little precious, little gentle souls very thin. And I think that that is why everyone is so stressed out. Everyone is so mean to everybody. I'm mean to people too. Yeah. And I'm actually a pretty nice person. Although some people would say that I'm not because I snap at people and I get, my fuse is very short. It didn't used to be. I used to let things go and not get overwhelmed by stupid bullshit. And now I'm just ready to fly off the handle about anything, and I hate that. And I know that it's because of the world that we live in. That doesn't excuse the behavior because, the world is what it is. I can't change the entire world. I am trying. One video at a time. But it's still my responsibility to not let things get to me. But the world we live in with everything, even if you don't watch television, which I do not, even if you don't, you're not on TikTok, even if you really feel like you have separated yourself from media, it's still there. It's still everywhere. I mean, you can't walk. I was going to say drive, but even if you didn't drive, even if just walking down the street, you're going to see billboards. And now billboards are electronic media too. It's just that constant bombardment of hammering into our heads what the world is supposed to be instead of allowing all of us to create our worlds. Here I go coughing again, sorry. Me and my COVID. No, I'm just kidding. My goodness, when am I going to stop coughing? Like, really, how long after you've had COVID do you constantly still cough? Is this just like my life now, I guess? So, okay, I digress. And now I have a hair on me. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm a hot mess. Um, you know, what I was gonna say back in 1829, like I live there, So I mean, we always just assume that people and times that were back then were completely different than ours and so much better and whatever. So who knows? I mean, whatever. Maybe they were bombarded by their controllers to think certain ways too. I mean, who knows? But when you're an artist of any kind, whether you're a writer or a painter or a musician or a poet or a seamstress or a carpenter or whatever, whenever you are, head down, ass up, working hard on something, you kind of zone out on the world. And even if you have a horrible problem, a lot of times, a lot of that stuff is very therapeutic. I'm fun doing the dishes, like it's therapeutic. And I hate doing dishes, but like while I'm doing that, like while I'm task oriented, all my problems in the world just kind of fades away for a little bit. And, instead of when we all go to bed, now there are special people who can just, second they lay down there, boom, they're asleep. But people like me, that my mind races for another 3 hours, what I used to do is I used to lie in bed, stare at the ceiling fan, and worry. And probably keep myself up even later, worrying about bullshit that probably doesn't even matter. Now that I almost died, I'm starting to realize things that do matter, things don't. But That's how, old school we used to do it. Now you lie in bed with your laptop and your phone and maybe your tablet too, and your earbuds, and you're still overwhelmed with other people's media, unless you have your YouTube channel and you're watching your own videos. But nevertheless, I mean, even if I watch a video of mine, I turn it off and another video of someone else's pops up, and then I'll go myself, I'm like, oh, I have to watch that. And then who I'm subscribed to, all that just automatically comes up, plays even if you're not even watching it. But nevertheless, we don't really give ourselves much time at all to completely, shut that shit down and just focus on our own thoughts. And which I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing, because I listen to a lot of ASMR. It actually calms me down. Love it. So I do watch that while I'm laying in bed trying to go to sleep. So lots of stuff is great. Listening to your favorite album, whatever. But still, once again, we're still being invaded with media. And I don't want this video to be necessarily to, shit talk that, because it has its place and it is good, and the world has changed in positive ways because of it. We can connect with anybody. You can have a conversation with somebody in freaking Kazakhstan over the video that you're watching, and come together as like new best friends over a song that you both gel with. That's kind of cool, and so I don't want to speak ill of that kind of stuff, but the actual news, like CNN, MSNBC, any mainstream media that is news focused, is most of it's fake. In fact, I know it sounds really out there, but in fact, it's almost an inversion of what they're saying to you. And I don't know if you know much about black magic and witchcraft and Satanism and, Anton LaVey and all that stuff. And if that freaks you out, I'm not saying, I always tell people to research things, but you should never research anything that makes you feel uncomfortable. Getting involved in some of that kind of stuff, once again, because I'm very spiritual. I may be an asshole, but very spiritual. And I do believe that delving into some of that stuff can create some openings into your soul or psyche of welcoming some, negative energies that you might not want around. Because I will say this, for those who do believe it, demons and negative energetic forces, they are like pests. They are like bed bugs. You have to burn your house down to get rid of those things. So you don't want to be playing around with anything that you don't feel comfortable with. But just a blanket statement about all of that stuff is that in, witchcraft, speaking and spellcraft and putting spells on people, places, and things and situations, a lot of the negative, putting spells out there is to kind of invert your words and, like speaking backwards. I know it's kind of creepy. I don't want to put energies on this video, but anyway, long story short, I believe, and remember, every time I say I believe, you better sit back. It's coming. Here comes my crazy thought processes. But I believe that there are very high-powered controllers of this world. That I'm not talking about the president who got elected, or your local congressman who just happens to vote on issues in a way that you wish that he or she wouldn't. They're just kind of doing their own thing. I mean, yeah, that's negative and, whatever. And those people do have power and, stuff like that. But I'm talking about the invisible people, human beings, of course. I'm not talking that crazy, but human beings who do run this world and that we don't even know who they are. They're the puppet masters, and who we see on television, those are their puppets. They are saying a script. They have a teleprompter. They don't just sit down and go, "Hey, what's up? Here's what I experienced today," or "I filmed this video on the way to work." They don't do that. That's not allowed. So, okay, can I get through any of these videos without coughing? Oh my gosh. Okay, so mainstream media, in my opinion, is there on purpose to trick us. Jeez. And the more you watch it, the more you just automatically believe it, because psychologically, when somebody tells you something over and over and over again, this is how abuse happens with well, I was going to say kids, but with anybody. Abusers use the same words and phrases over and over again on purpose to trick you into believing what they're saying. Your abuser is going to tell you how ugly you are. And at first you're like, no, I'm actually pretty cute. But then over time, you're like, you're damn right. You are absolutely 100% correct. I'm hideous. And that's just how it works. It's psychological. And abusers do that on purpose. And I believe that those in control of our world are our abusers. They are abusing mankind's innocence and an ability to think for ourselves and to discern things for ourselves without outside influences, and come up with our own opinions and get to the truth. Because, if everybody has an opinion, but every opinion is wrong, then it's still not the truth. But as you research things and as you experience things and as you, like I said, as you discern the information given to you, facts and truth just they always shine through. They always do. The truth will set you free. Truth, maybe it's an energetic force in itself. I don't know. Can't say that I know that. But why is it that the truth always comes through? Somebody who lied to you 20 years ago, all of a sudden you will find out that was a lie. Unsolved murders, they always find the killer. The truth is out there. Seriously though, no matter how much you abuse someone, eventually they're going to catch on to even just a deep internal feeling within themselves if something's not right. And then if they have enough power within themselves, if they haven't been abused to the point where they've given up, but if they still have some fight left in them, they're going to take that feeling of knowing that something is wrong, and they're going to, hey, that thing that my abuser keeps hammering into my head that I feel is weird and wrong, they're going to eventually come to the conclusion that what was told to them was false, fake, wrong, a lie, and they're going to obviously figure out that their abuser is the liar. They're not the one to be believed. And I believe on a grand scale that us little earthlings are being abused. And I mean, that's the best way I can put it. I mean, don't you agree? Don't you agree that we are being abused by our overlords? Now, I'm not saying, I mean, we have to have laws. Okay, I don't believe me in that word. I don't believe in the stop sign 2 blocks over that makes traffic worse than better. And someone in a higher position than me was able to get that stop sign put there. It's annoying. It bugs me. Sometimes I don't even go that way because of it. It's annoying, but it's not that the person who put that stop sign in is necessarily my overlord trying to fuck up my life. They don't even know who I am. So I'm not talking about stuff like that. I'm not talking about, we all have laws that we don't believe in, that we're just like, oh, it's fucking stupid, I mean, whatever. Like, it's ridiculous. So, I mean, it's like, why do you have to wear a seatbelt in a car, but not a helmet, and on a bike, motorcycle, you have to wear a helmet, but not a seatbelt. Whatever. These are the things that keep me up at till 3 o'clock in the morning when I laid down at 11:30 p.m. But so I'm not talking about stuff like that. And we even have some control over that. Like if I really want that stop sign taken out, I do have the power to make that happen. And by the way, I am one of those kind of people. Like, if something is really, really annoying and it annoys enough people, I am definitely the whistleblower. I'm the one that will be like, okay, it may take me 2 years when we get that stop sign removed. Like, and that proves that we do have some power. So I'm not saying that every course of our life, every breath we take is, being controlled by, some evil overlord in, Austria that, we'll never meet. I'm not saying that. But on the big issues, and the news is one of those big issues. Just with the COVID thing, now I have proven to everyone I know and myself that COVID is real because, one of the conspiracy theories was that it wasn't even real, that anyone who had it had something else, or this has been proven that they were marking death certificates as COVID, even if somebody died in a car crash or whatever, so I mean, all that kind of stuff. But I have proven to myself that COVID is real, although it's not coronavirus. It is not. That's impossible. But yeah, whatever. So I was gonna make a comparison, like, a heart attack is not indigestion. So calling COVID coronavirus, yeah, no, it's not. That what I had was not coronavirus. It was biological pathogen, but whatever. You can watch my other videos about that. But just with the COVID thing, there was so much misinformation that has turned out to be incorrect. And I know we've got the human factor because no matter how powerful and evil our overlords are, they're still human beings and they do make mistakes. So, and I said in my other video that, anyone on Earth 100 years old or younger has never experienced a pandemic like this before. So, everybody who lives on this planet we're all trying to figure it out. So, it's a brand new thing, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, of course, there's going to be things on the news. Even if no one was evil, if there was no such thing as evil, there would still be misinformation out there because we're all just being like, oh wait, this week we think it's this. And then we're like, oops, shit, no, it's actually this, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the continual bombardment that everyone is going to get COVID for sure and get it so bad like I did that you're going to almost or actually die. And that's just not true. And I'm a oh my God, this is so weird to say this. I'm actually a COVID survivor. Isn't that weird? It's a weird thing to say. But even I'm saying, like, COVID is not everywhere. I don't think that you get it from coughing on people. I mean, whatever. So they just hounded us, and still are, about how bad COVID is and how you need to go get, 8,000 vaccines and boosters and, you know, buy all this, buy this hand sanitizer because it's better than this other hand sanitizer, and, and don't go to work. Quit your job. Quit your only source of being alive to stay home in fear of this disease, and don't see your family, and don't have any interaction, and don't make love with anybody, and create more humans, and all of these things to completely stop our lives and make us absolutely 100% depressed. And the depression rate, I don't know about the suicide rate, I'm not going to say that, but the depression rate has just skyrocketed because people are not supposed to be sequestered and quarantined. It's like imprisoning people. You're not supposed to do that. We're free spirits, and we're supposed to move about freely and enjoy this beautiful world. And the news was very irresponsible in just creating such panic. I don't think that's right. Even, even first responders, the reason why they're so just like chill when they talk to you, like they're not like, oh my God, you're sick. Oh my God, you've been shot. Like they're not like that. They're just like, it's going to be okay. You're shot. It's fine. They're like that because they're trained to make sure that they don't instill more panic in the patient or victim, whatever. And the news, we're talking about high level professionals under professional, policies, at their workplace. Why were they allowed to do that? And even the commercials have this level of intensity of how bad things are, and we're all gonna die of COVID. No, we're not. I almost did and even didn't. So it's okay. And just the news with everything else. I mean, the way that they play with our heads about the economy and resources like gasoline and oil, refined oil or refined oil into gas, or food, or land, housing. I think that it's weird, and I'm not going to get off on all my tangents, but how can I buy a house today from a real estate agent that tells me that the builder spent $200,000? So it's however many thousands of dollars it took to build the home, and then whatever take my real estate agent wants, whatever take the bank wants, and all this other stuff. But let's say we have a $200,000 house. How is it that I can buy a $200,000 house today, pay cash money for it, it's mine, and then 5 years from now turn around and sell it, and the market has fluctuated? What the fuck is the market? The fuck is that? I know you're gonna say, oh well, come on, I mean, it's the stock market, it's how we trade, blah blah blah. But really, that's fake. If I buy a sweater today for $75, because those would be the kind of, actually, except for when I shop on Shein, then my sweater will be $10. If I buy a sweater for $75 today and I don't like it and I want to give it to one of my friends and she says, no, I want to pay you for it, I'm not going to charge her. Now, I might charge her less to be nice, but I'm not going to charge her more than $75. I'm not going to make a profit on that. My market, I don't have a market. I don't have a fluctuating market. So why is it that our overlords tell us when the housing market is up or down? when the stock market is up or down, when gold bullion, whatever you say it, is up or down. How can they, I'm not saying that I'm here to end the stock market. I love trade. I'm a raging capitalist. I love the fact that if I want something, I go work my ass off to get it. That's fine with me. But the news, the media, the stock market, the banking system, all of that, it's fake. It's like a game. It's our overlords are so bored. They're like, I don't know, let's come up with something. Like, and it's always to our chagrin. Is that the word I'm trying to look for? It's always to our detriment. It's not to help us. I mean, you could say, well, actually, I made a lot of money on stock market. I mean, yeah, I get it. But I'm just saying that overall, all of that fake games, unreal, untangible things that we just buy into, like hook, line, and sinker. Oh my God, I sound like I'm like, freaking 80 years old. But like, that's what I'm talking about. And we let it go on. We do. We drive past the gas stations and go, oh, look at the price of gas today. As we pull up and go put gas in and then run in and get some Twizzlers, I mean, I'm not saying that everything has to be a fight because, we're on this earth to enjoy it. And I'm a bitchier person. I'm a person who's like, that's wrong. I'm the whistleblower. Everyone, look, we have to fix it. I'm not saying that everyone should be like that because it will keep you up at night. But, go enjoy your life. Don't get bogged down by the price of gas. Just buy it, get your Twizzlers, move on, have a good day. But still, we have to fight a little bit. We have to blow the whistle when things are wrong and sound the alert. I mean, really? Or we're just going to keep letting shit go and go and go. And then, no offense if you watch the news, you might turn off my video after it's done and be like, oh, what they got on the news today? If that's your thing, go for it. But I'm just saying that if you're constantly allowing another person or group of people to fill your mind with fake bullshit that doesn't help you. I mean, if it was fake bullshit and it somehow made your life great, then hey, okay, fine. Put all the lies on TV you want. Shit, I'll watch 24/7. But it's not helping us. It's making us worse. It's making us more depressed. It's making, we're not making more money. We're making less money. We're not having better jobs. We're having worse jobs. We're not having better products. We're having worse products. Every freaking, you pay for a $800 phone and, in 6 months, it won't download new apps that they made. It's so fucking annoying. And I think that's wrong. And I know I kind of got off on a tangent because I always get off on tangents, but my purpose of this video was to say that no news is good news because, as I said, my double entendre, no news, watching the news, not hearing any of that shit, if you don't listen to it, it's like it didn't happen and you're not affected by it. And then also, none of the news is good news. No news is good news. It's all bad news. And it's set up that way to instill fear. And it's, what is that called? Oh my God, I can't believe I forgot this. When you're, what was it in Germany where, the syndrome, oh my God. Okay. I can't believe I put in the comments what I'm talking about. You know what I'm trying to say. The little syndrome where you start seeing your abuser as your savior, and then you rely on them to, like, even though they're abusing you, you still have to rely on them to eat or whatever. Even if they're starving you, even if they give you a little bit of food, you're still having to, rely on them. And if you're reliant upon mainstream media to tell you what's going on in the world and it's all lies, then you're wasting your time that you could be spending finding out what is really going on in the world. If you ever hang out with people who have traveled quite a bit, they have a different view of the entire world. And I'm talking about international travel, people who've spent, the last 4 summers in, Italy or whatever. They come back with a whole different, story of what's going on in the world than what we're told by the news. And, if somebody goes to a country where they've had a lot of, upset and wars and, just crime and everything else, and then you talk to somebody who's actually been there, you're like, oh my God, did you have to step over dead bodies? No, we stayed in a 5-star hotel and hooked up with our taxi driver and made friends with him and met his family. You know what I mean? Like it's just, we're just bombarded with fake bullshit. So, I just, do what you want, but just be careful of watching the news. And then of course be careful with any kind of media that you put into your brain, because hearing something over and over and over again, you're going to start to believe it. And if it's negative, then why are you doing that to yourself? So I know we can't bust in the local news station and say, stop lying. But you can stop watching it. So, anyway, I hope I don't freak you out with all my coughing. I hope you don't think to yourself, wait a minute. She's saying, don't be so hung up with, being afraid to catch COVID. And then here she is, she almost died of COVID. And now she's still coughing 2 months later. I don't want COVID. But seriously, and you know what, for me, honestly, I'm not afraid of COVID. And, you saw my other video about what happened to me. And, if I get it again, I get it again. I'll deal with it then. And I mean, come on, I can't be that unlucky. I don't think I'll ever get it again. But, that's the thing. I don't want to live my life in fear. And, so, don't waste your beautiful life being afraid of what they tell you on the news. I was going to say TV, but I mean, shoot, you don't even need a TV. I mean, you just need some earbuds in your cell phone and you'll hear all kinds of media. And of course, they put it on you. You can't even get through a YouTube video without, seeing commercials, unless you pay for the little subscription to not see that. But, I mean, you're going to be infiltrated with media no matter what. But, just don't let it build a barrier of discernment so that and if you start feeling like, let's say you do watch the news, say there's a news, outlet that you enjoy and you do feel like most of it is truthful, but if it starts kind of making you feel bad, then once again, use your discernment of, maybe considering not watching that anymore. If you're not watching it, it has no effect on you, Oh, Stockholm Syndrome. That's what I was trying to get at a while ago. So yeah, if we all have Stockholm Syndrome, where we are so attached to our abusers that we see in them some sort of, like, we ignore the abuse and we see the you know, their ability to help us or whatever. That's wrong. You're not supposed to be abused by others. And I just feel like those in charge of this world, and of course, I'm not going to name names, but I'm not talking about your local congressman. I'm talking about high level families, bankers, those who have created and are in charge of our entire social media platforms. I'm talking about. And, you know, I mean, you know, if someone becomes powerful in a natural way, then, and they do good, they use their powers for good and not evil, then that's different. If like I always say, congressmen, there are several congressmen and women that I actually like, and I see the things in a couple senators, and I see the good that they do. And I mean, do they vote how I would have voted on every single thing? No, of course not, but they're humans too. But when a person gains power like that, or even just your boss at work, if they treat you with respect and they're trying to help the common good for the common man, then that's great. But when you have high level people running the world and running it into the fucking ground, as we have noticed lately, we need we need an uprising. I mean, yeah, I know. Watch my channel get taken down. But seriously, I mean, aren't you ready to revolt too? I mean, this is too much, really. It is. And we're not supposed to live like this. And I don't know if you believe in God, but I do. And I believe that God, He created every single one of us special. I don't care if you have an identical twin, you're still not the same person. And we are supposed to live on this beautiful, beautiful planet and experience each other, because we're all beautiful, beautiful entities. And we are supposed to be enjoying every moment. I mean, yeah, some shit goes down, we got to handle business. But for the most part, your days should be good. Shouldn't be lying in bed until 3 o'clock in the morning when you have to get up at 7:30. Well, I'm supposed to get up at 6:45, but let's be real. Um, and lying there worrying about life, or how someone was mean to you, or how you were mean to someone else. And we're all being mean to each other because we're all so fucking stressed out. And the reason for it is because we're being bombarded with information that is not true, and it's scaring us and stressing us out. And we have to rise up against this in however way you can. I mean, I'm not saying, we all pitch in on a tank and storm the, freaking Pentagon. I'm not saying that. It wouldn't even help anyway. But I mean, you can make a difference in whatever way that you can. Look for it, okay? I mean, if there's a stop sign down the street that's bugging everybody, figure out who it was that put the stop sign in and go get it handled. You have that power. You do. Nobody has power over you. And I don't care if you are at the lowest low of your life and you feel like there's a boot on your neck for everything. I don't care if you're living in your car and you can barely eat. You don't deserve to live that way, first of all. And you just work to get to the next level. I mean, no one deserves to live bad in any sort of way. But we all are so, we've let our overlords hold us down so much lately. I would say the past 6 years really is when I started noticing it. And now we're getting to the point where we can't even help each other. That's terrible. So please, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever state of life you're in, please find ways to help yourself first, obviously, then find ways to help those around you, and then let that circle grow. First you help your neighbor, or if you're living in your car, maybe somebody who's living in their car next to you, you help each other try to find some clean water. And then as you guys start to kind of build your life back up and you can't do it, then you find someone else. And then maybe you start, you figure out a way to open up a homeless shelter. And now you're helping even more people. And I mean, whatever situation, but I'm just saying that everyone on this earth has power. So don't let the news tell you who you are and the state of the world without you knowing, figuring out for yourself. If you think that there's a country out there that's just, horrible and everybody's dead or whatever, get on a plane and go visit that country and see if that's really true. And if an abuser is telling you who you are, then you sit back and take account of who you really are, and you'll realize, wow, those are all lies. Okay, so thank you for listening, and take care of yourself, take care of other people, and let's build our world back. We have the power to do that. We totally do. I know it seems overwhelming at this point, but you can do it. All right. Bye.